gotta be grateful, you need haters. What is you complaining about? What do you think a hater's job is? To hate, so let them do their goddamn job. What the is you complaining about?
F16 killer track with the mix.
Yeah, they can hate on me. Got a reason why I always keep the flame on me. And I'ma do it till I'm done, ain't no brakes on me. Break me down, hell no, that's what you ain't gon' see. Blue devil on my shoulder, he just spitting the facts. So be careful how you moving, ain't no running it back. Southside, hate the world where the real ones at. Them 200 boys reppin', logging in from the trap. Better log in, homie. Better log in, homie. Log in, homie. Better log in, log in.
Gotta be grateful, you need haters. What is you complaining about? What do you think a hater's job is? To hate, so let them do their goddamn job. What the is you complaining about?
F16 killer track with the mix.
Yeah, they can hate on me. Got a reason why I always keep the flame on me. And I'ma do it till I'm done, ain't no brakes on me. Break me down, hell no, that's what you ain't gon' see. Blue devil on my shoulder, he just spitting the facts. So be careful how you moving, ain't no running it back. Southside, hate the world where the real ones at. Them 200 boys reppin', logging in from the trap. Better log in, homie. Better log in, homie. Log in, homie. Better log in, log in.
Gotta be grateful, you need haters. What is you complaining about? What do you think a hater's job is? To hate, so let them do their goddamn job. What the is you complaining about?
F16 killer track with the mix.
Yeah, they can hate on me. Got a reason why I always keep the flame on me. And I'ma do it till I'm done, ain't no brakes on me. Break me down, hell no, that's what you ain't gon' see. Blue devil on my shoulder, he just spitting the facts. So be careful how you moving, ain't no running it back. Southside, hate the world where the real ones at. Them 200 boys reppin', logging in from the trap. Better log in, homie. Better log in, homie. Log in, homie. Better log in, log in.
Gotta be grateful, you need haters. What is you complaining about? What do you think a hater's job is? To hate, so let them do their goddamn job. What the is you complaining about?
16 killer track with the mix.
Yeah, they can hate on me. Got a reason why I always keep the flame on me. And I'ma do it till I'm done, ain't no brakes on me. Break me down, hell no, that's what you ain't gon' see. Blue devil on my shoulder, he just spitting the facts. So be careful how you moving, ain't no running it back. Southside, hate the world where the real ones at. Them 200 boys reppin', logging in from the trap. Better log in, homie. Better log in, homie. Log in, homie. Better log in, log in.
All right, we in the building, 200 Boys Podcast. Salute to everybody that's here. Make sure you guys run up the comments. We got legendary Be Real in the building today, Cypress Hill. We got Opina, we got Droops. Like the video, share the video. We'll be right back after this song. Let's get it.
You gotta be grateful, you need haters. What is you complaining about? What do you think a hater's job is? To hate, so let them do their goddamn job. What the is you complaining about?
16 killer track with the mix.
Yeah, they can hate on me. Got a reason why I always keep the flame on me. And I'ma do it till I'm done, ain't no brakes on me. Break me down, hell no, that's what you ain't gon' see. Blue devil on my shoulder, he just spitting the facts. So be careful how you moving, ain't no running it back. Southside, hate the world where the real ones at. Them 200 boys reppin', logging in from the trap. Better log in, homie. Better log in, homie. Log in, homie. Better log in, log in.
gotta be grateful. You need haters. What is you complaining about? What do you think a hater's job is? To hate. So let them do their goddamn job. What the is you complaining about?
F16 killer track with the mix.
Yeah, they can hate on me. Got a reason why I always keep the flame on me. And I'ma do it till I'm done, ain't no breaks on me. Break me down, hell no, that's what you ain't gon' see. Blue devil on my shoulder, he just spitting the facts. So be careful how you moving, ain't no running it back. Southside, hate the world where the real ones at. Them 200 boys reppin', logging in from the trap. Better log in, homie. Better log in, homie. Log in, homie. Better log in, log in.
All right. We're in the building. Salute to everybody that's in the building. Opina, let me get a mic check, big dog.
Shit, we here, man. I'm here in the building reporting to work. Rough night, but we here.
Droops, what up, big Droops?
What's good?
No horoscope today?
No horoscope today, dog. No horoscopes today.
It's delayed. It's delayed today.
Yeah, we're still recovering from the last pod, man. There was a lot of people kind of mad at me, I guess, dog. You know,
It is
mad
what
at
it
us.
is.
Yeah,
It is. No, I'm mad at you, homie. Don't throw me up in your
I
mix.
don't know, man. You were laughing, and then it got crazy, and
Oh, Peanut's turning into Blue Devil.
yeah,
He's trying to
salute.
Put the shoe on.
Nah, it's cool. Salute to the homegirl, Bonnie Lachey.
For sure.
You know, she came on and represented, and so we did the same.
We got the legendary Be Real in the building. Let me
Yes,
get a
sir.
mic check.
Check one, check two. How you guys doing?
Good, big dog, good. Oh yeah.
That's
Hey,
right.
10 a.m. pod. Let's not waste no time. Let's go live. 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. There we are, up there, big dog. Live right there. Read the comments at your own discretion if you want to. I will suggest ignore them because they're going to go in on all of us.
Yeah,
You know,
it is what it is.
It's the nature of it, you know what I mean?
it's the
Yeah.
beast. You know, it is what it is. But we usually do a recap, but let's not do all that today
Yeah, we
because
don't
we got a
gotta-
legend in the building. You
Hell
know,
yeah,
we
legend.
can't waste nobody's time.
Many accolades, Be Real, Cypress Hill.
Thank you
The
very
man,
much.
the myth, the legend. How you doing, dog?
Good, man.
Yeah, you're already smoking me out, dog. I'm gonna die in here, dog.
I start early. You know?
Yeah, you got me, dog. I'm over here like fucking.
I can't see, fool.
You can't see?
I can't see.
He said wake and bake.
Dude, I caught from Droops' little, when he does his vape pen.
Yeah.
But I can, I could really feel that one, dog.
It's safe to say you'd knock out in the smoke box, right?
I'm dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We might have to do it just to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, just to do it and again, fuck it. That's
Watch your
good.
peanut go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Watch your peanut die. Coma. That shit would be cool though.
He gonna pass out like that one dude. You seen that one dude? What's his name?
Roscoe.
Roscoe. Yeah,
yeah,
where he was
yeah.
like, bam.
They gave him a hot dab, though.
That's what is that?
So back then, nobody knew to, like, let the nail cool off for, like, after you get it red hot
Yeah.
like that, you should let it cool off for about 40 to 50 seconds. Not to mention that they gave him a gram fucking dab, you
Yeah,
know
it
what I
was a
mean?
gram dab, that's
so
right.
once she was the chick who was lighting the nail, once it was done, she put that shit right on the nail, and no one was going to not pass out from that shit right there. Not at that time, because it was new to many of us then. You know what I'm saying?
Did he get the pound?
No. I don't know. I don't think, I mean, maybe he did. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. A gram's a lot of anything. I don't know.
Fucking A.
Hell yeah.
That concentrate back then, too.
That's just straight. It's like straight raw shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's monsters out there that'll take a gram dab. You know what I mean? When they were doing slabs and shit, you'd see dudes on the gram or whatever, chicks even, you know, just right on the nail, just taking it down. Ooh. And it's like monster shit. Most people, right, they're cool for the shot, and then about 15 minutes later, they're on a couch sleeping somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything is tolerance, though, right? Like
Yeah.
building up to it.
Yeah, now those guys and chicks ain't falling asleep nowhere. I mean, they can hang with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took time to get there, though. It's like a crackhead, fool, you know? He has to build up that tolerance to a fucking 8-ball.
Yeah, tolerance is everything.
You got to start off with a dub.
Remember when the Kush was first coming out? I don't know if it first came out. I just remember like 90s was like
97, 98.
Yeah, Kush, the real original
The
OG Kush. See, we know what's up. And you know, even then, like taking a half a gram was like, whoo.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then you had to build up. Once like 2003 came, I was like smoking fucking like a chimney, and it didn't hit me.
Yeah, we take a little bit of OG on tour with us, whatever we could manage, because at that time in the early 90s, there wasn't a lot of it. There was only maybe 6 growers.
A couple fools that were growing, I remember them, yeah.
And so we'd maybe take a half ounce or something if we could get it, and we'd be smoking with other people from another state. I remember we were smoking out with some friends of ours in Michigan, and one of our homies brought his girl or something like this, right? And, you know, she says, Cypress Hill, where's your weed at?
Damn.
I heard you guys smoke big. Where's your fucking weed at? We're like, well, all right, no problem. You know, she's being a little aggressive, but fuck it. You know, hey, let's roll one up. And I tell everybody, you know, in the room before we start smoking it, because this is early on. You know, not everybody got this weed here,
the
right?
good shit. Yeah.
You know what it is. It was very
limited,
limited, right? So I tell everybody in the circle, like, hey, hit this shit slow. Don't take too big a hit, because this ain't like anything you ever smoked before. Yeah. And she's like, we live in Michigan. Our weed is better than that.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, back, you know, this was like 97. And, you know, there was parts of Michigan where they were growing really good weed, right? But
not like the shit.
Not like we had, right? And, you know, she hits this fucking weed, and she takes a big-ass Spicoli hit, you know. Fast Times at Richmond High reference, right? I remember that. She takes a big, huge fucking hit. And within 5 minutes, she's like doing that Cheech freak out. You know what I mean? What the fuck is this? I never smoked like this before. And she is totally fucked up off of that one hit. And I said, I told you not to fucking hit it like that. And now, hey, homie, take your bitch home.
You say you're going to learn today.
You got to take her home now, because she's freaking out. She thinks that we... laced it with something. Yeah. I said, we all smoked it. What the fuck are you tripping off of? Hey, homie, you got to get your girl to take her home.
Take the stupid bitch home. She going to be like Smokey in the fucking pigeon coop.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it was a crazy experience for people who hadn't smoked. We built a tolerance for it for the little bit we were able to get at that time, but anybody else smoking it for the first time.
Yeah, especially out-of-staters, too. Like,
yes.
The certain spots grow good weed, you know, like in America. I think California is like the best.
Southern California in terms of indoor farming. Yeah.
Northern California got their way.
The outdoor.
Outdoors,
yeah.
That's the thing about California. That's why I say we're the best state, you know, in terms of cultivation, because we got the master growers here in terms of the indoor growing in the south. And up north, they got the outdoor locked, and in central, they got a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Hold on. I have a question, because you brought up the 90s and Kush. Right. I had this debate the other day on live, because there's a video of the Outlaws, you know, the Tupac Outlaws.
Yeah.
Where they said that in 97, when Tupac died, 96, they were smoking OG Daddy Grand Kush. What was
Grand Daddy
They might have been. They might have had
That's a different strain.
Hold on. They said they smoked Tupac's ashes, which we've all heard, right? That the Outlaws smoked Tupac's ashes.
Right.
But they said they put his ashes in some OG Granddaddy Kush. That's where I was like, wait. Because all I remember back then was like Pretendo, Chronic.
I gotta see the
stress
video
weed.
because maybe they made it in like '98.
Could be, but
You know, but
But
I
did
know
that-
where
hold on, hold
we
on.
know
But did
where
that
the
exist-
years was.
Did that
Yeah,
exist
yeah.
back then?
OG didn't. It wasn't really around in 95, 96 with that name. It might have been something different because it was in Florida before it was here.
He said OG Granddaddy Kush.
But that's like a hybrid after.
Yeah, Granddaddy Kush. I don't know. There was Master Kush.
That was a good one.
There was Bubba Kush.
Bubba Kush. These are the original ones.
Yeah.
I was a big weed smoker.
Somebody was arguing that
before
that shit
yeah.
was around back then.
I don't know.
He was maybe adding extras to it.
I don't remember
the
that.
ones that you just mentioned. That's the process I went.
That's the process, yeah.
Around '97,
The Bubba Kush,
I went through. We did the
That
OG
Granddaddy
Kush.
shit came.
Yeah,
somebody
after.
kind of threw that. It's almost like the way people say that OG stands for ocean grown.
Yeah,
That's not what it stands
No.
for. It stands for original.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
So,
No, for sure,
so the Outlaws were lying or just adding extras on
I
it?
think that maybe they could have added extras on it, or maybe that's what they were calling it down there. Because sometimes, depending on where you're at, a strain might change a name. Somebody might not know what it is, and they'll just call it whatever. You know what I mean? And that happens. And then some people have the same exact strain, and they'll call it something else on purpose just to be able to market it
Yeah.
different. Like the Gorilla Glue, for instance. Remember there was like a
10 years ago or so, I don't know when, but years back.
About I think maybe 7 years ago, there was like a wave of fucking Gorilla Glue, and then nobody wanted it because everybody had it.
Yeah.
Like people stopped buying it, and it got overproduced, and it's sat on people's shelves. But then others got smart enough to say, well, I'm gonna call this shit something else. This is gonna be pistachio, or this is gonna be green iced tea, or whatever the fuck, whatever name you could think of to like be able to market it and get it out there.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So I stopped smoking around 2013 or something, right?
Yeah.
Permanently. So like all these new strands that are coming out, I had a question because I know you still know you smoking. Is OG Kush still like top tier? Like if you just get OG Kush by itself, or all the names like Death, they call some shit Death.
Yeah.
Is it coming from that, or is it a hybrid from some of the original ones? Or is it something new?
Well, I think they've crossed OG with all kinds of shit these days.
So is that what all those names are? They're like crosses? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are crosses, I think, and some of them are made up. There was one early on that was totally made up. They just saw that we placed OG Kush out there, and someone thought to put OG on the rest of their shit because nobody was doing that before we
I get it.
before we had done it. And in terms of OGs these days, I mean, you see them and people still want them. Like we ask people on our on the Dr. Green Thumb show, like, what do you like to smoke? What's your favorite shit? Most especially people from the West Coast, and most of them will say OG. Some will talk about the exotics and drop other names and shit like that. But for the most part, I would say 75% would say OG because it's the shit we grew up
It's
to.
still good. It's still
And
top tier. Yeah.
Yes, if it's by the right cultivator, it's top tier and it's second to nothing.
So if I smoke that, the OG Kush back in the day, I was heavy on that one.
Yeah.
Is there any weed that's like stronger than that now? The hybrids are stronger, or I'm asking because I haven't smoked for a while.
Yeah,
because people say, "Oh, I got this one, and it's better than any of that shit you had back in the day," and I'm like, I don't know. I was wondering.
I would say that there's strains out there that are comparable in terms of flavor, right? There are some really good strains out there with flavor.
Tasting-wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of getting you higher, nah, I don't think so. I think there's some really good shit that'll get you high as fuck no matter what, but that shit is really impactful still. That's why it's the go-to for a lot of indica smokers is that OG. But I mean, there's a good portion of people that don't give a fuck about that, and they just want to try the different flavors, and all of it gets most people high, right? Yeah. For me, I used to be an OG snob like that. I wouldn't touch any of the other flavors. Yeah. A lot of people were like, "Oh, try this, try that." I'm like, if it ain't an OG, it ain't me. I can't fuck with it, right? But on one trip, we were on tour, and we got up to the Bay Area. We had ran out of all of our shit. All of our OG was gone. I called my homie JP from West Coast Cure. Salute to my man JP. I knew they didn't really, up north, they didn't really have the OG the way we like it. Like, I hadn't run across it. So I didn't even bother to ask them for it. You know what I mean? I said, hey, JP, we just ran out. If you got any of the cookies that people are, talking about and bragging about, I want to try some of that shit. Because, like, I had been hearing about it for a long time, but I didn't bother to try any of it because I'm an OG snob at this point, right? So the homie brings, what did he call them? They were platinum cookies or platinum cookies, some shit like this, right? And boom, I had it. And it got me high. Maybe I wasn't as high as I would have been on some OG, but it did the trick. But the flavor was right there. And I was like, oh, shit, this is actually really good. And that was the beginning of me opening up to other flavors and realizing there was other shit out there that was just as good. But if you want that fucking head knock, it's that OG Kush all the time.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I've had the hardest shit then.
Yeah.
There's no need.
Right? You were at the mountaintop, bro.
What's the point of I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it was just trying new stuff out of necessity, and then from there you ended up just giving other things a try, right?
Yeah. Because, I mean, we'd be scoffing at other motherfuckers' shit. We'd be like, nah, we don't want that. Try our shit. We'd be willing to smoke our shit over trying others.
What's your go-to right now? Like, what do you like smoking on now?
The RS11 when we can get it. That shit is...
That shit sounds deadly, homie.
Oh, it's gas.
That shit sounds like COVID, dog. RS11.
It's gas. Let me tell you, it's gas. But I'll tell you, there's been lemon cherry gelato going around.
Yeah, I hear
really
that
good.
too.
Yeah. When you got it from the right people, that shit is really good. But for me, that RS11, when we can get our hands on that shit is good.
And with the sativa and the different what do they call it? That's not the strain, is it? The strain or people always go for like hybrid sativa and
most people are smoking hybrids right now. You know what I mean? Some people like their sativas and they'll straight away smoke those, and that's cool. And then you got indica smokers that won't touch the sativas. They might fuck with a hybrid. Yeah. But it just all depends what you like. With the indica smokers, that shit tends to hit you a little bit harder. Okay. But the sativa gets you high too. The shit that they say that is more of a body high, you might get that, but you're still going to get fucking high the same way you would with an indica. It's just that the indica is a little bit more potent. Yeah.
I think I'm high right now, dog.
I am too, dog.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. This motherfucker's smoking. They can't see it on the screen, but
they could.
They can see the smoke. Yeah, it's fucking.
Hey, you had a couple pieces of news. What did you have?
You want to do some news?
I want to see what you got today.
Yeah, it's just a couple pieces. We'll get too deep into the news because, like I said, we got Be Real here. But let's get some news in. Here we go. Oh, it says right here. It says Big Meech. You familiar with Big Meech? Yeah. Spotted getting a haircut after his release from prison. Big Meech with a fresh lineup and a Louis Vuitton shirt.
Oh, they're looking out for him. His son's gonna look out for him. All his peoples.
He's in is it a halfway house or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's a halfway house.
It's a halfway house. Yeah.
He G'd up in a way that a lot of dudes in his position don't. Like he made sure that all his other homies didn't go down with him. He went down with his brother.
Yeah.
And didn't snitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't give up. Like he took all the responsibility on him.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, dog. When you playing the game like that.
When you're playing in that game, absolutely.
I mean, you can't have the best of two. I've always been an advocate of that because I feel like you can't play and then turn on the game. No, you just got to take it how it comes, dog.
Yeah, if you're gonna play it.
Yeah, play it.
Gotta
know the consequences, bro. Yeah, facts.
I'm sure we know a lot of people, like not like know him, but maybe like someone on a different block that was doing it big, and then he told, and I look at him like, fuck that, dog. Like,
he saved himself. A lot of people, it's just for a lot of people, it's just snakes. They're just doing it, and then at the end, they'll save themselves and fuck everybody else. Survival of the fittest, I guess you would call it. Look at 6ix9ine. That's what he did.
That's a perfect example.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
He did it the worst to me though, dog. He ratted on like 10 people or something, or a bunch of people.
More than that.
And he don't give a fuck. Yeah. He's out there waving the flag like I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
But
But that's what happens when people are
You
not
think
held
has a
accountable
different,
nowadays.
different generation?
Yeah, that definitely different set of rules.
Yeah, it's crazy. huh?
Accountability. Back in the day, that would not happen.
No.
He would have got taken out real quick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
But it's
for
just
sure.
the difference of time zones now.
Cameras everywhere.
The shit you could get away with now,
You can't.
could not have gotten away with back in
Back
the
then,
day.
no.
Fuck
But
You're-
you
you
know,
were-
now he uses the eye for his advantage.
Oh, yeah,
the
for
camera.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, because if he's around with his bodyguards walking and you
He
can't
don't
do
got
nothing to
bodyguards
him.
no more. Now he's
Oh, he
by
doesn't?
himself. Huh?
Yeah, I think so.
By himself.
I think he's already understood that nobody's gonna get him.
He's taking his chances now out there by himself, tripping out. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, he changed his genre too, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Now he's like Mexican music or like
Was he doing like Spanish?
reggaeton or whatever. So
okay.
that crowd is different. They're not gonna.
you know, he's always going to be targeted
Yeah.
for a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You
The
know.
right person catch him. It is what it is.
Yeah. He's going to catch fades across the nation.
A super fan, you know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
We got a $10 super chat. It says, "Be real." The song you have with King Lil G, Ace, is
a
dope.
banger.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
remember
banger.
that song.
Oh, thank you.
It's dope. That's
Thank
good
you.
one.
Yeah, he hit me up. And, you know, when I heard the song, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'll
Yeah.
get on this any day. He fucking killed that shit. And for me, when that's how, when I look at doing collaborations like that, is for me, it ain't a bag. You know what I mean? It's like, how dope is the track? Because I don't ever want to put my shit on something just for a bag and it ain't dope.
Yeah.
It has to be dope first. And most of the time, I'll just do it in trade. Like, you know, if I ever need King for something, I'm sure I need a verse. He'll holler back and do it for me. You know what I mean? Because that's the camaraderie we got. We appreciate the dopeness of one another, and you know that was a dope one, man. Like when I do solo shows, I tend to want to put that verse in there because
you did something different too. That's the first time I really heard you on some trap.
Yeah.
It was like a trap beat, right?
Yeah, I had been doing some shit on mixtapes and other things because I work a lot and I put a lot of shit out there. Just different stuff that I don't normally do with Cypress Hill and whatnot, you know?
Yeah.
And so I've been like fucking with those flows for a minute before I got on with King, but it was dope because he's part of a younger generation of motherfuckers out there spitting, and for him to come back to me and say, hey, can you get on this? You know, I felt good about that because that means my shit was resonating to the next generation.
Yeah, to the newer.
Yeah. So salute to my man King.
That's like Mr. Shadow. He said that he got Ice Cube on the record, and Ice Cube was like, "Nah, I gotta hear your shit first. I gotta make sure that you sound good before I jump on it." And even about the money, you know.
Not about the money.
Yeah, because you know, not every bag is a good bag.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. For me, it's like you got to live with that shit. So if I put something out there that I knew was like, I would not listen to this.
Yeah.
You know,
With the wrong artist, is that what you're saying?
With anybody.
just with anybody. You know, like I even asked some of the homies I've known forever, hey, let me hear the track.
Yeah.
You know, because you just never know. Like, you could say yes to all your homies, and then you get something back, and then you got to figure out like how to tell them, hey, this shit ain't it.
Because there's
You know what I'm
whack ass
saying?
rappers that
It's true.
there's whack ass rappers that not rap. I wouldn't call them rappers, but there's whack ass fools trying to rap.
Yeah.
They got money, fool.
Yeah.
Right, and they go get a bag from somewhere, and they want to give a big feature.
Oh yeah.
And then they're garbage, but then the you know they go pay a big rapper, and it just doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
You know.
The only one I ever really did that was like not necessarily that I gave a fuck about the way it sounded, like in terms of the collaboration, was with Steve-O, right?
Okay.
From
Oh, you did a song with
Yeah.
Steve-O.
did a
Jackass.
song with Steve-O from Jackass. And whew, you know what I'm saying? He was my friend, so I wanted to do him the favor. I didn't take any money for it. But, you know, after that, I decided, I don't
He
fuck
said, I
around.
can't be doing that no more.
Yeah,
I'll go back and hear it. I'm
my
gonna try to
verse,
hear it.
my verse was dope. The song was dope. What Steve-O did, and he knows it because we've talked about it on his show that he does. That he was like, I don't even know what I was fucking doing, man. I'm like, hey man, we're friends. You know, I had to do you the solid. But after that, I was like, nah, I got to be able to live with something You know,
Yeah,
because songs live forever. When
It's
you
part of your legacy, right?
yeah, when you do a whack song, it's out there.
Yeah.
And one day,
Yeah.
when you're at your fucking worst and you don't want to hear nothing and you're like bad mood, that shit comes on.
Those
Boom.
are the ones they're pointing
And
at.
you can't take it down because somebody already copied that
Oh, yeah. They
motherfucker
put it
nowadays.
up on YouTube already. It's everywhere.
Someone played it right there in a minute for you, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
They
Fuck
play that one as your walkthrough, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Oh.
Or it becomes a favorite.
or yeah,
And
or
you're
it's
like, why that one?
Yeah, why that? Fortunately, I don't got that, but you know, that's sort of the reason why I like fucking make sure that I have to love the track before I decide to fuck with it, because I don't want to be having to have that awkward conversation like, yo, hey,
I was faded when I did that
yeah,
one.
I can't. Hey,
I did the
I was
homie a
sober.
favor.
No, I was sober.
Or you got to tell
I
them,
was
huh?
sober.
Yeah, you
homie,
gotta tell 'em.
let me buy that track from you.
Yes.
So I could shelf it.
So I can
Now
shelf
you just
that
tell
bitch.
me I'll put you on the next song.
I'm gonna put it in the fucking hanger right here, you know.
The vault, huh? Hell yeah.
What else you got?
We got Chino's Pacas album is #1 right now. Salute to him. Says Chino Pacas' new album, Que Siguen Llegando Las Pacas, is currently #1 on Apple Music and has the best new song with Drake.
Awesome.
That's interesting.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
You know what pacas are?
I don't.
Damn, I thought you were Mexican.
No sabo.
Money,
I've been
fool.
openly-
money. You know how they carry the money
Man,
phone?
that's dinero, homie. What do you mean?
Yeah, pacas is money. You know how the money phone and
Like
shit
in
like that?
packs?
Yeah,
Like,
the money phone.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what it
okay.
is.
That's that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just dinero, homie.
Yeah, but in
Feria.
bundles.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's in bundles.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
in bundles.
Pacas.
Pacas. Yeah.
We had them like that in stamps in the feds.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Stamp packs. That was the money.
It's #1 on Apple Music and has the best new song with Fuerza Regida and Drake.
What do you think
Is that the
made
one where
Drake-
Drake's
Yeah.
rocking in Spanish?
In Spanish.
That's not his first time. He's done some other verses in Spanish, but that's his first, you know, corrido style, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. For corrido, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think made Drake want to get involved with regional Mexican music?
I think he knows, because he's a smart dude. He knows he's got a lot of Latino fans, and he knows that there are a lot of Latinos
That support.
that support. So he's just, you know, drifting in the lane real quick.
You consider that a culture vulture, though? I think he's a smart businessman.
I think
if
it's
you
a
ask me.
smart businessman, and it's art. You know, if you could figure out a way to snap into it, you do it. And if you can't, hey, someone else is going to do it.
Facts.
Got to try to cater to the right people. And
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you know, because there's Latinos in Toronto that fuck with Drake. I mean, there's Latinos everywhere that fuck with his music. You know what I mean? So if he could do it, why the fuck not? Like if Michael Jackson, when he was alive, could tap into going out there doing some of his songs in Spanish, please believe
He would, yeah.
he would have done that shit.
Plus, it co-signs Chino Pacas, and that helps his career.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it helps him. It helps everybody around him.
Yeah.
So everybody eats, you know.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
think it's
win-win.
great.
Yeah.
I think it's great, you know, seeing these new collabs and shit like that. Like with what Peso was doing
Bringing
on his
everybody
tour,
out.
bringing everybody
Yeah.
the fuck out. When
Yup.
he, you know, asked us to come out, you know, we were tripping because we didn't even think we were on his fucking radar.
Damn.
And, you know, and he embraced us and, you know, had us come up in SAC.
Oh, shit.
And it was fucking crazy. It was enormous. That shit was something. And I salute him for that because he didn't have to do that.
Yeah, facts.
You know?
Yeah, he blew up. He blew up like this out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
We had El Jilguero up here, which is a singer from back in the days, a corrido singer, and they were roommates one day before they blew up. One day before he blew up, right?
Yeah.
They were roommates up the street right
Working
here.
construction.
And then they would pass by. He said they would pass by there's an arena in Ontario or something like that.
Yeah.
And they would pass by, and Peso Pluma would say, "One day I'm gonna fill that place up." He was a forklift driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He fucking
And then
filled it
that's
up. He filled
Yeah.
all these buildings up.
And then
That
like
shit was
a
crazy.
couple of months later, bam, dog, this was a fucking mega star. And I was like, fool, did he leave you behind? Or did he come back and get you? He was like, nah, that's still the homie, you know. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Want to
Hey,
read
yeah,
the super chat?
Yeah,
You want me
you
to
read
read
it?
it?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
Mr.
got it.
Capone in the building.
Salute.
Let me
Salute.
read it.
You done music with Capone?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says $50 super chat. Salute Capone said, "Be real's a real one. He ain't lying. He show love. Gonna drop our jam and video in November. Salute to him.
right.
Shout out TheHaterWorld. Droops out here. We're out here in Colorado watching you in the hotel. Keep it cracking.
Salute my bro.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Salute Capone.
Salute, Mr. Capone. Yeah,
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah, they were tagging him to read that chat. Yeah.
Okay, real quick, before we start, let me give a shout out to our sponsors real
Yeah,
quick.
do it.
Shout out to OG Moses, Greenleaf Botanicals. If anybody's looking for that THC or that CBD, go to Instagram and type in Greenleaf_Botanicals. That is a CBD king. He had the first article published in the High Times magazine. So salute to OG Moses. Once again, THC and CBD, hit up Greenleaf_Botanicals. All right, shout out to Moses. Let me give you the next one real quick. The next one is Street Polished Brand.store. These homies right here got a clothing brand. So hit up their website at streetpolishedbrand.store or hit them up on Instagram at street_polished. They're connected to that rapper Doughboy IE.
Yeah, that's right.
From Bloomington. So shout out to them. They're doing big things. Hit up their website. Go buy some merch. Show some love. Support brown business. All right. And Chiclet's in the building. Not only are they on the screen, not only are they right here behind me, but they are in the building. Hit them up for all your trees. I'm going to put their link up in the chat. So I'll pin it right now. So anybody that's in there, Haterbot, Lovely, Jessica, go ahead and tag the link so the homie can, get some business. Chiclets is in the building. And other than that, damn, it's hotbox like a motherfucker.
Hell yeah, dog. I'm usually like talking a lot, and I'm fucking like sitting here like fuck.
I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna get up and tip over.
It's because this was a hash hole, bro. This is a little bit.
Yeah, but they had already started, the homies right here.
Oh, yeah.
They were starting already.
It's a nice little wall of smoke happening
Hell
here.
yeah, a nice one.
I got one right here.
I have a question. How did you discover Psycho Realm?
So I had a friend that was at an event downtown. I can't remember exactly what the day it was, but she hit me up and said, "Hey, you got to check these guys down here. They're pretty dope." It was at the spot. Where is it? What's that spot called downtown? They do shit there, on Cinco de Mayo all the time. It's like a little circular.
La Placita?
Yeah, the La Placita
Olivera?
right there.
Yeah.
They were performing there. There was like a few groups performing there. And she hits me up and said, "Hey, B, I think you should come check these guys out. They're pretty dope." She didn't tell me their name. She just, had heard them here and there, but saw that they were performing on this day. So I go down there to check them out. And they were dope. They had Joe, Duke, and Jack, and they had, I think Reside was their DJ at the time. And I hit him up after the show. I said, "Hey, we should, knock some shit down. You guys are dope." And, so we started communicating, and I was sort of hearing what they had at the time, which was very different than what came out as their first album.
What year are we talking?
This was probably 95, 96, something like that.
Okay.
Or maybe
Later?
maybe earlier than that.
Earlier.
Yeah. Actually, it was earlier because if you look at "We Ain't Going Out Like That" in the video, there's a grave digging part, and Duke and Jack are in that scene. So I met him around that time. The Psycho Realm album didn't come out till like 97 or something like that. But Duke at the time, when I first met them, sort of sounded like a raspier version of Son Doobie.
Okay.
And Jack's style was sort of what he was doing on the first album, slightly different, but you could see it was where it was on the way there. And Joe, he had his style that kind of locked in to theirs and stuff like that. In the process of us, sort of getting to know each other and then, figuring out how we were going to work together, I guess Joe kind of breaks off after a while. I go on tour, and by the time I come back on tour, we were on tour a lot back then. I'd say we'd probably spend maybe a month or two at home, and then we were out the rest, for like 3, 4, 5 months, come back for 2 months and the rest. So by that time, when I'd met them and I was coming back off the next couple tours, Jack had started producing his own beats, and now it was just sort of them two, Jack and his brother Duke. And what they had was really dope. Like in comparison to how I locked into them at Olvera Street, right? That's when I, thought, hey, man, let me get on some of these tracks with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I got on a few of them. First one was Psycho City Blocks, which I'm on the chorus on that one. And then we thought the combination of our three voices linked pretty fucking good, so let's try and do more. Before you do it, we knocked down an album, and I became a member of the group for that particular thing. And none of us knew that was going to be like an underground classic.
Yeah.
It was fun making that album too, because we all had different concepts to bounce around together. And I brought in Eric Bobo, who's also in Cypress Hill, to help some sort of orchestrate some of that shit, because he was good at arrangements and stuff like that. So it became a vibe, man. And salute to Jack and Duke for being able to take what we did there and take it further, and it become like a cult.
Yeah, they got. I mean, that Psycho Realm is like.
Yeah, they still can tour, just like
Jack's one of the best. He don't get enough flowers, like for his style, his bars, and his ability to do both or all three things, like on the highest level, right? Production, writing songs, and the studio work, and then performing those songs for a live crowd. He's got all three on lock. Yeah. He's a special motherfucker right there, and he don't get enough flowers. And, Duke, what happened to him was unfortunate, because he was another very talented dude, and live, he was off the chain. And I often think about, like, what he would be like now, having all this experience under his belt from that time to now, because he was good back then, and he barely knew what he was doing.
He was still learning.
He was still learning. We all were. We all barely knew what the fuck we were doing. I mean, even at that point, by the time they come out in 97, I'm in the game for a few years, but I'm still barely dialing it in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to sort of impart some of that to them, and then they took it, fast learners, and ran with it. And they created their fucking scene. And salute to them brothers, man. And salute to Cynic. Yeah. And Six Symphonies and all them.
Salute to them.
Were those the only artists you ever discovered?
Well, yeah, they were like the first. Demrick, I didn't really discover. I came across Demrick because
I remember that. Yeah.
Corrupt sort of brought him and this other dude, and they were called Tangled Thoughts. They were from Philly, and Mellow Man actually brought Demrick over into the studio. We were working on my mixtapes, my Gunslinger mixtapes, and then my solo album and shit like that. And Demrick was sitting on the couch in the studio for months, didn't say nothing. And I made this one beat because I was producing at the time too, and I was like, "Hey man," I asked Mello, because he was in those sessions. He did some of those mixtapes with me. I said, "Hey, who do you hear on this?" And he goes, "Why don't you let Demrick spit on this?" I'm like, "He's been sitting here for 6 months. He spits. He raps.
He ain't said nothing.
He ain't said shit. What do you mean?" Yeah. He was like, "Yeah, he's fucking dope." So I hit the beat. I said, bust some bars, and he fucking massacred the shit.
Yeah, he was dope. I remember.
Yeah, so then I start putting him on a bunch of shit. He's on, the Cypress album. He's on my solo shit. And then eventually him and I link up with Exhibit, and we create the group called Serial Killers, which we're putting out our 5th album sometime next year.
Oh, that's nice.
And so, so Demrick is one that I'm not necessarily going to say put on, but I highlighted.
Yeah, and put the spotlight on them.
Yeah. And, sometimes people, come within vision, and I feel like they need to be highlighted, or somebody needs to fucking put them on. Like, like people did for us. Like EPMD did that shit for us. Like, we didn't know it early on, but EPMD, who was like, some of our
greats.
Greats, but like our inspirations. Our main one was Public Enemy, but EPMD was right there too. They were out there telling people about us. We didn't know this shit. They were walking around with our snippet tapes, like telling guys like Chuck D, "Hey, yo, check these guys out, B. They're badass. They're the new shit. And they be telling like Ice Cube. They put Ice Cube onto our shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, you know, so we have to do the same as they were doing for us.
Boys
so,
like Drake and Chino Pacas.
Right.
It goes back to that.
Or like or like my boys, the Yodis. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the Yodis. Shout out to the Yodis.
They're fucking dope as fuck.
They're fire as fuck, dog.
Dope.
When they hit me up, you know, I already thought they were dope, and they came with a dope ass track, and I was like, this is an easy snap in. That was like easy. I heard that shit.
It was off rip.
And then their bars are fucking dope.
Ridiculous.
And so, like, you know, they're going to be, I believe, playing at one of these, one of our upcoming Haunted Hill shows on the 29th and 30th. That's because I want motherfuckers to see these dudes because they're fucking dope. So, like, for me, I always felt compelled when it's some motherfuckers that need light. I'll definitely give it to them.
You don't need nothing in return?
No.
Because there's a lot of people that won't do that. Like, they won't give you the cosign. They won't pull up to your podcast. They won't shout you out because they want something in return.
Yeah, I don't need nothing from nobody, dog. I create, like, my own lane with my people, and so that it sustains me. So I don't need to be digging in my homies' pockets over here. I want you to build your pockets up, because when you build your pockets up and homie over here builds his up, us together
power team.
Are a power team.
Plus,
me having all the paper, that only makes
facts.
Yeah.
Plus, I've said, fool, whoever's gonna blow is gonna blow with or without you. They don't need you, but you being there, part of the come up, you're part of the team now.
It's like a stamp, if you will. You know what I mean? Or somebody might say, "Hey, well, this motherfucker called it before anybody."
Yep.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't give a shit about none of that. For me, it's just like if I really like the shit or love it, I got to tell people about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just showing love.
Yeah, show some love. Like the way that people showed love for us, man. You know what I mean? I try to keep that cycle going, because had EPMD not been out there telling the other artists about us that they needed to see us, maybe we don't get the same.
No Cypress Hill.
Yeah, maybe took a little longer or something, right?
Might have took a little bit longer, or it might not have happened because they were...
maybe you would have turned out to be a Chicano rapper.
That too. Anything's possible.
No, I never considered that.
We never got that label. I'm a Latino who does hip hop.
There you go.
And that's about it as far as it went for us, because we never really made songs in that style.
Yeah.
Like, I might have appeared on a couple of songs in that style, but in terms of Cypress Hill shit,
it was different.
It was different.
Way different.
Because Muggs was from the East Coast, so all his production was sort of different. And, he had me going back and forth, so that's why it was a hybrid type of slang of L.A. East Coast shit.
Yeah.
And then it turned into its own thing, you know what I mean? But, yeah.
Who produced the record Stone Gardens?
That was Jack.
Oh, shoot. From
Jack produced that whole album. I mean, it was him and I and Bobo on some shit. But this is when he really starts, like, getting a hold of it and, like, creating his own sound, because for a producer, that's everything. Especially in that time, is that you had to have your own sound for motherfuckers to be respecting you. Because
original.
if you sounded like this guy or that guy or this guy, you was a scrub. You was out of here.
It was competitive, man.
Yeah, it was very competitive. Like Muggs had his sound, DJ Premier had his sound, Pete Rock had a sound. Before them, it was the Bomb Squad and Marley Marl and all them. And Dr. Dre got his own sound. And, the people that tried to do any one of these guys' shit, they didn't have a long run. Yeah. But everybody who, like...
gimmicks.
Yeah. But everybody that came in with their own unique shit that was dope, they sustained, and, they had a lane and they could fucking keep it going as long as they... as they wanted to.
That's when hip hop was in the building stage.
Yeah.
So you had to be original, because there was no place for copycats or posers. Not at that time. Now
they did
now
your
it's possible.
career easily.
Yeah. Would you say now there's a lot more? Everybody sounds the same.
Yeah, it's a lot of cookie cutter shit, because what happens is that people see what dude or chick is doing to win. And the chicks will follow that other chick, and the dudes will follow this dude.
So is that different than, like, when you were coming up and you look back in the 80s at those hip hop guys, and you took I don't want to say you copied them, but you took little pieces of info. Is that different than what they do now, or is it similar? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a way that you might get inspired by another artist, but you don't do the same shit they do, right? You don't sound like them. Your sound is completely different. It's unique to you, right? That's inspiration. But when I come out and I'm rocking the same exact style as this dude does, it's just a different melody, maybe the same style beat, but I'm rocking the same flip. It's not that original then, you know what I mean? But that's what it is these days, because motherfuckers don't want to take a chance on doing something different. Yeah. Some do. I mean, there are those that will push the limits and try something completely out the box. But that's not always what gets highlighted on regular radio. You hear a lot of the same shit.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it's the same.
On the playlist, you're gonna hear different shit. You're gonna hear motherfuckers that are should be on the playlist and others that shouldn't. But you're gonna hear a variation of different shit where, on the radio it's very cookie cutter. You hear one song, it sounds like the fucking last one, an extension of the last one. It's just the tones of the artists are different, and maybe the melodies and keys are slightly different, but it's the same rhythmic pattern.
Programming.
Yeah.
They're just using the same stuff back to back.
Because it works.
Yeah. It's easy. They don't want no controversial shit on the radio that makes you think. You know what I'm saying? It's all dumbed down shit so that, you're distracted and, you're playing this shit that just takes you away from anything you might say want to focus on that means something that you might want to call bullshit on.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that, and by design. A lot of these prisons own a lot of these private prisons are owned by a lot of the entertainment industry, and the way you fill them is you allow artists to go on the radio with songs that will drive young kids to try to do the shit they're talking about that they're not even really doing.
That they're not living.
Yeah.
It's like nowadays with all those females that are like hot city girls, or what do they call that shit? But they're all married.
Yeah.
Like all the girls that be talking about popping it and this and that, Cardi B, all them. Salute to them. They're getting their money,
They're
right?
all housewives.
Yeah.
But they're all housewives, listening to their man and shit like that. Everybody falling for it, fucking out here.
The ratchetness is real.
Yeah.
Some of these dudes that are out there in that what's that the other genre with the gang banging, what is it, the East Coast?
You talking about the Chirac shit?
Yeah.
Like the drill music?
Yeah, drill music.
Yeah.
Some of them dudes ain't even out there doing
No.
that stuff.
Yeah.
No.
And
Well,
you got people over here going crazy.
Back in the days, you would call cats like that studio gangsters.
Studio gangsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that shit's always gonna be.
Yeah.
It's like the yin and yang, right? Positive and negative energy. You always gonna live with that. That's life. So in music, it's that too.
Yeah.
You're gonna have music of substance that says something, and you're gonna have absolute bullshit that is like, sort of toxic.
Yeah.
And that's the balance.
You need it. You need it.
Yeah.
Need the fake, need the real.
Let's get a few super chats. Yeah, they're on me in here. Let me.
I'll read one of them. This one
it was a good convo. I didn't want to interrupt. It says,
you got it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
It says we're gonna do some questions from the fans. It says questions for Be Real. Who are your top 5 rappers of all time, and can you elaborate on how your first 2 albums came about?
Top 5 rappers.
All time, new, young, old.
KRS-One, M, Jay-Z, Rakim, Chuck D.
Okay.
And the way that the first 2 albums came together, the first one took like 5 years because we went through a number of demos.
Is that Cypress Hill?
Cypress Hill,
came
yeah.
in out 91, right?
Yeah.
So you were working on it 5 years prior.
Yeah, we were like, because at first I was banging, and Muggs and Sen and Mello, they got in. Muggs got into 783, and Mello got in through Delicious Vinyl, right?
Okay.
They had deals in that way. They had gotten into the music because it was a hobby for us and stuff like that. But I went off soldiering for a bit, and it took them a minute for me to like get me to go to the studio because I was like in the shit, you know what I'm saying? And I was fucking like not really there. But when they brought me to the studio and I start seeing all these fucking popping people coming into the spot, which was like Tone Loc at the time. And mind you, he was banging on the other side of what I was banging on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I appreciated his music, so I was like, oh shit, as a fan, I was like, oh shit, that's Tone Loc.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? Young MC would come in to the shit, right? And he was, you know, he had a hit too with Bust a Move, and he was writing shit for Tone Loc. And I'm seeing these popping motherfuckers come in the studio, and I'm like, oh shit.
Like it's real, it's in my reach.
Yeah, it's in my reach. And I, you know, like, from going in on Mello's first sessions and trying to write, that's when I got bit by the bug. Like, I want to be in the studio more than I wanted to be in the hood at that point. Because I was like seeing it within my reach, like you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, after Mello goes through his shit, Muggs goes through his shit with 783, and we decide we're going to put Cypress Hill together. We just start working on demos every fucking day. Like at Muggs' apartment that he had in Hollywood, like on a 4-track recorder. We're just recording every fucking thing. And, you know, we got a certain amount of demos together, and he was flying to New York to like to promote, not promote it, to talk with someone about a record deal, right? To play the demos. And he had all his discs that he sampled on and all the shit. It was all the music that was going to be the first album, right? And he goes to New York to visit family and to get into some studios over there, and he puts the bag down when he gets to the out of the baggage claim, right? He gives his homie a hug and a pound or whatever, and some dude picks up the fucking bag and runs off with all the demos.
Yeah.
And we had to start all over after that
So
shit.
somebody out there got all these fucking classics.
Somebody got, yeah. If they know what to do with them, they might be able to hear the samples in some of the early demos, but like they were all on floppy disks and shit like this, right?
Damn.
So he had to come back and we had to redo all that shit all over again.
So, but you did the same songs though.
Some of them we did.
Yeah, but they don't come out the same, right?
No, they came out better because
better.
Muggs was like on some different shit. Like, I'm gonna fucking make it better.
Okay.
And
If you would have had those tapes, he would have already put them out, dog.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
you guys
maybe-
got super huge, you know, with the internet now.
And I'll tell you what, you know, that probably that first run of demos wouldn't have done it for us. You know what I mean?
It was meant to happen.
It was meant to happen that Muggs went back and revisited, touched them up, and then came up with some new shit as we were going. You know what I mean? So it took 5 years, and he refined his sound, which was inspired by the Bomb Squad and Marley Marl and guys like that. And then, you know, we caught momentum after that. We start going out there. And it took a minute for that first album to go. It wasn't until the movie Juice pops off and Killer Man is in the pivotal scene.
Yeah, that's the first
Tupac.
song on the album, right? Yeah, how could I?
Well, no, it's at the end scene with Tupac.
No, I'm saying on your album though.
Oh,
It's
yes.
the first song, right?
Yes, one of the. It's in the first.
Those
few
are
minutes or
classic
something.
albums. Those first two, like for sure.
Yeah, it took like 6 months to 8 months for it to pop off for us.
To get
You know what I
going.
mean? But then it starts gaining momentum, and we're on tour promoting all this shit and like getting very little money. But we're like fucking hitting all the right places, and we're fucking killing it as we're going along. And, you know, by the time we get to the Black Sunday shit, they rushed us. We had like roughly around 3 months to do that shit, right? So me and Muggs, we go to New York. We did maybe 2 or 3 songs here in LA, but we end up going to New York to focus and not let anybody come into the studio and distract us. And we recorded most of Black Sunday in there. And that took us, you know, it probably was like a 1.5-year process, but of the 1.5 years, it was about 3 months of recording because we were coming up on our turn-in date. And when you don't turn in your shit on the date of every month after, you get, you know, taxed like anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 on your budget. So we were like, we weren't trying to give back none of that fucking money. We're like, come on,
That's
let's
a classic album, Black
Yeah.
Sunday. Are you still
And we
beating
rushed
off
that
tape?
shit. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that had Insane on the Membrane.
That had all the classics.
All of them,
fool.
on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the-
That-
But but Trip Out, that was, the best album was the one with the 4.
Yeah, the 4. That's my favorite.
That shit was the one that got me through some shit, dog.
that's my
the green
favorite.
one, and then it had a Freak Bitch. It has
Yeah.
all the heartbeats.
Yeah.
Those are.
So you're saying that one outdid your first album, Black Sunday?
Oh yeah, that one's
That's the mainstream
that's the
one.
biggest
That's the one that's on the radio. They played all them songs.
For real?
Yeah, that's the biggest one than the first album.
See,
and then
that's
the
when
third
that's
album.
you know I don't want to bring it, but that's like those times. That's when that little beef was cracking.
Yeah.
And I think afterwards, because people don't know, but I was a stoner, so
Yeah.
that album right there, I heard all the hidden shots in that motherfucker, dog. All of them. I'll be like, yeah, he got you. But I ain't gonna lie, I did like the West Side Connection. That was dope too.
Oh no, they were dope. It was dope.
Yeah, people could be getting mad like, oh, you know, you're choosing side, you're choosing. No, it's not that. When you're a fan of hip hop, you go through the whole
you gotta go
process
through
with
the
the
journey.
artist. Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta go
know what
through
I
the
mean? You
journey.
go through the whole process with the artist. You feel me? So it was dope, like to hear, you know, the back to back. But I was like, damn. But that one was the whole album. Yeah,
That was my favorite one.
Tequila Sunrise.
Yeah.
was on that motherfucker. That shit was hard.
It's a lot of
that was a
fucking
banger.
songs, but you know, it is my favorite.
Still
you know.
Magnolia.
Still
Fuck,
Magnolia.
dog.
Yeah.
All
Baron
those
Ricks
beats,
did his
ooh.
thing on that shit. You know, we didn't have Send Dog so much on that album. So, you know, Baron came in and a couple others, you know, like to splash off some of the songs with me. And, you know, it was dope to have like these different styles to rock off
Yeah.
of because it made me better than for, you know, me to just be leading the whole fucking time. I had others to challenge me. That's what made Psycho Realm so dope was that Jack and Duke were fucking dope. So for me, I had to make sure my shit was like up there and I didn't just dial it in. And that's something Muggs always told me, you know, like be around really
People who are gonna make you
yes,
better.
it's gonna make you better.
Yeah.
And you know, I've always stood by that. So with that album, you know, Baron Ricks was very dope and he had a very East Coast Raekwon, Ghostface type of style.
Yeah, when you hear that, what I'm hearing right now, I'm hearing all the beats.
Yeah. And Muggs, I mean, you know,
Right.
Muggs was on his shit on that album. You don't get enough props as a producer for that particular one. He gets a lot of the props for like, you know, the first three and Skull and Bones and shit like that. But
I feel like that album was like your first two albums, Black Sunday and Cypress Hill. I feel like the third one was like accumulation of those two with just like mastered more better beats, like the same style but just on steroids.
Yeah, he was ramping up.
Yeah, ramping up hard.
Muggs was
dog,
ramping up.
Yeah, because
with
it was
his
like
sound.
it was like the first two were like the when you're first coming out, like the guys in the 80s, you know, it was like the first one coming out and then it just escalated on that.
Yeah,
one.
see, Muggs wanted to get darker. He didn't want to get brighter, right? Meaning that, let's just say, songs that were like Insane in the Brain, like it was a really bright song for him.
Yeah.
He didn't like that
That was
shit.
bright.
For him, yes.
Damn.
You
Like
got to hear the 4 album all the way through. That
yeah,
shit.
for him, it's
tight.
about the fucking darkness, dog. So, you know, most of the tracks are always heavy, psychedelic, and brooding and shit like that. That's probably that and Jump Around are his two happiest beats, I should say.
Yeah.
If you know, like they're his brightest beats, but those are the fucking pop-offs.
Yeah, they are.
But he always wanted to get darker. He didn't want to give them hits. He wanted to like
Which one did the most numbers? Was it that one? 4?
4. Nah, I think it was
Black Sunday.
Black Sunday.
Okay.
Black Sunday, then the first album, then
I had that shit on cassette.
Then it's Temples of Boom.
That was 2000.
Yeah.
2000, I think. Yeah.
Then it's, I think, Skull and Bones. Then it's 4.
Then it's 4. Wow.
But 4 is my favorite.
That
man.
shit banging.
Talking about that beef earlier with West Side Connection, what stopped it? What squashed it?
I mean, I think several things. I think, you know, we all knew that we all had homies out there that, let's just say, would take up a beef for us.
Oh, yeah. Facts.
And that's always where someone gets fucked up.
Jump out the window.
Yeah, you know, so before it got to that, you know, because we were at it for, you know, a little bit. I mean, they were talking shit. We were talking shit. We were like, you know, dissing them everywhere. They were dissing us everywhere. And I think at some point, it got to a point where it could have got real serious, you know, and I got a call from Mac 10, I think it was in 97 on January 1st or something like that. He was like, yo, let's talk about like putting this shit to bed. What's it going to take?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, first off, you calling me is step one, and I appreciate that and I respect that because, you know, we both banged on the same side of the blood and Crip
Of
shit.
the flag.
Yeah,
Of the flag.
of the flag, right? Different sets, but, you know, that's what we did. So, like, on that level, we were like, hey, we shouldn't even be beefing. And I understand that, you know, you had to, you know, take up homie's side because, you know, you were eating with him.
Same
and
label, yeah.
And, you know, you wanted to have his back. So I get that. You know, I don't got nothing against you and any of that shit. But, you know, we'll stop it from right here. Because, I mean, you know, it's a small world. We're going to run into each other.
Easily.
Oh, yeah, for
Right?
sure.
So him and I squashed it right there. And he was a gentleman about it. And we were cool. And we've done work since then. But he was the one that opened the door for Cube and I to have the conversation next. Because he was like, well, what's it going to take for you and Cube to, like,
Let it go,
squash it? Because
kill
that's
it.
where the main shit was at.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, man, it's just going to take a conversation like this.
Yeah.
And so he got Cube to call me, and we had our conversation, gave each other the reasons for how it got to the point that it was at and how it was, you know, escalating. We're like, hey, listen, you know, we're going to run into each other and X, Y, and Z is going to happen. So, you know, we could squash it here.
Or figure out.
And never talk about each other again and, like, you know, get to a better place. Or we're going to run into each other somewhere, and that's just what it is.
Or the homies going to run into each
That's
other.
Or
what
the
you-
homies,
yeah.
and that sort
That's
of
worse.
and that sort of almost happened a couple times. So you know, and I know how that shit goes. We know how that shit.
Oh, yeah,
goes.
for sure.
It doesn't end well.
Nope.
So for me, you know, I was like presenting a choice, and I think he knew. It's like, all right, you know what? You're right. Let's just squash this shit and get past it because it ain't gonna be good for none of us. And after that, you know, we went our separate ways. We didn't talk shit on each other or nothing like that. And Shaq was putting together a song. What's it called? Men of Steel or something like that with Peter Gunn.
Yeah.
And he hit me up, hit Cube up, and that was the first song we did together, and video, I believe, after the beef was squashed. So Shaq got the credit for putting us together
Salute,
on the
Shaq.
first song. So salute to the big
I
man.
gotta check that one. I haven't seen it. What year was that?
That had to.
Way after
whenever
the 90s.
Yeah, well,
Oh, no?
yeah, it was probably around Shaq's first album.
All right.
I think
his first album
think
was
so.
dope, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shaq's
Shaq.
first.
Yeah,
It's called Diesel, I think,
Yeah,
right?
I think so. Yeah, he got bars on
That
that.
was a badass
And then
movie.
Warren G put us on the next track, which was "Don't Let No One Get You Down." It's that War remake that he did. So I was on the. It was just Warren G and I on the original track, and then Warren did a remix for it and put Cube on it. Then we did the video for it. And that was the next video. And I thought the more that we did together, that was great because
Yeah, of
it
course.
you know showed people that, like, here we are, two men that had this beef, that we were able to squash that shit and, like, actually become friends again and work together. And we've done several tours and shit. And Cube's got a new album coming out, and you know, apparently I'm on one of the songs.
Oh, nice.
if it stays on the album, we did a pretty dope one. And just recently we did one for the Soul Assassins album that Muggs just put out, a song called Dump on Him, where it's myself, MC Ren, and Ice Cube. And Muggs on the beat is fucking sinister.
Fire
man.
one? Yeah. I
Would
got
you
you.
say that was the first group beef? Because we've heard, like, single beef, like Tupac, Biggie.
Yeah, I think so.
But not groups. With
Right, yeah.
That would be probably one of the first group beefs.
Yeah.
West Side Connection.
Yeah, but
Cypress
a lot
Hill.
of good music came out during that.
Oh,
that
and
beef,
there was
dog. I'm gonna
great
keep it real.
music coming out.
Competitive, dog,
we
yeah.
had one where, you know, when the minute they dropped that album, we knew that there was going to be a diss song. We knew 2 diss songs were on that album because we just launched one on them, you know, with No Rest for the Wicked, which I thought was dope.
Hell yeah.
But, you know, we knew that he was going to retaliate because that's Ice Cube. You know, he's one of the fucking dopest MCs out there is in terms of diss songs.
Got no
but
Vaseline
that's
and all
the
that.
challenge that I like.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I will go after it. I'm that fucking guy. You know what I'm saying? So I knew 2 diss songs were coming because, you know, we had people that told us this, right?
Insight.
And so I was waiting, and I was like, fucking, you know, the day it came out, I was in Chicago doing some radio shit over there, and the fucking cab driver had it, you know?
Oh, you heard it on
Yeah, so I was like, hey, play me this song, and it was King of the Hill and something else, right? And so I was like, okay, cool, good diss. I liked it. If I was a fan, I would have said, damn, he got him.
Yeah.
And so I did what he normally would do at the time, where we jacked his beat. I sent it over to Muggs. I said, hey, Muggs, this is the beat. We're going to fucking fire back tonight. And so he gets the beat, puts it together, and I write a joint called Ice Cube Killer. And we got my homie LC on it, who, oddly enough, sounded just like Ice Cube. So it sounded like Ice Cube was talking to himself at the time. We didn't release it commercially. We gave it to DJs, but it's out there. I've seen it on YouTube. And it was a pretty strong diss song, man.
Oh, so you did it to that beat?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it was a dope beef. I often thought that, you know, after we smashed it, you know what I mean, like, and squashed it out, and now we're touring together and we're friends and we're like doing songs together. It would have been a dope versus show with us in Cube, as opposed to a show with Onyx. And salute to Onyx, because they're dope. Yeah. But I think the story is more compelling with us and Ice Cube, because we had, you know, we were friends, and then we beefed, and then, you know, went back to friends again. And you could tell that story in a way where songs go back and forth to each other, sort of like the way that Wu-Tang and Nas were doing their show. It wasn't necessarily verses, but the way they were presenting it was very interesting. And I thought us and Cube could do that, and we kill it.
So then when you dropped 4, which was in '98, you were already done with the beef?
No, I think there was still,
or you made songs. Yeah, because I hear on that album, I hear it a little bit.
There was still.
I don't know if you're. To me, I thought it was, but you know, as a fan, I'm like, oh, they're still going in, but bar play though. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, like I could hear it, dog.
Yeah, I was constantly trying to elevate the bars, and there was other people we were going after too in that time, because you know we were angry. I was angry, dog.
Yeah, you're hungry,
and angry, and ready for a challenge. You know what I'm saying? That was my mentality. I was just trying to beast out wherever I could, you know?
No, listen, you come from the 90s era, Death Row, Ruthless, all that shit. I know you got a Tupac story.
You know, I didn't hang with Tupac when he was with Death Row, oddly enough. I hung out with him before that, when he was he was doing shit with Digital Underground, and he was just going out on his own. And I hung out with him a few times in the Bay Area, hung out with him a few times in Atlanta. And he was a really cool dude. And he was wild, you know, no doubt. But he got into all that other shit way too late in the game.
Game banging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, to do that at that age when you're having that sort of success, that was ill-advised, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to like move away from that shit and like, you know, do something legitimate and like create something that's like, you go, that's gonna sustain. When you bring that shit into this world,
he went backwards.
It's almost like hustling backwards.
Yeah, you're hustling backwards. If you're, you know, like if you remain active while you do this, I mean, it's your choice, but you're a bigger target now. Yeah. For all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? Sure. And I made a choice.
You're a trophy.
Back then. Yeah.
Big trophy, yeah.
And I made a choice back then. And you know, I spoke with my homies before I did it. You know, I said, hey, I'm going to be doing this now. And you cool with it or what? You know?
Yeah.
And fortunately, I had homies that were like, hey, go do that shit, man. There ain't shit over here for you. Just go do that shit.
Good homies.
And,
those are good homies.
And they back me up, and I still fuck with them to this day. But, you know, like, to try to remain active, I would have had a target on my back, because there was less of us
than the blue side.
Than the blue side at that point, you know what I mean? So fortunately, you know, I was in a place where I never like wore a chip on my shoulder, and I wasn't trying to like, you know, bang on nobody while we're doing this, that all the other homies from the other side all embraced me, and they knew what I was, you know what I mean? And they were like, oh man, they never called me out my name. and try to
disrespect.
They were all cool as fuck, you know what I mean? And some of them I call my brothers to this day, you know what I mean? So
talking about that, what made you join a blood gang and not a Southside gang, knowing that you're Latino?
Well, I didn't really think about that in terms of where I was in the area at that point. It was like I met a few homies through Send Dog who were hanging with those particular homies, before I was. And I was hanging with Send because, they were into the rap shit. And because previously I had hung out with, the break dancers and the poppers and shit. But I got into the lyrics. So I started hanging with Send, but Send, he had homies that lived on the other side of the tracks from Southgate into Watts, right? So, one of the homies I meet over there is Willie White. Salute to my homie Willie White. And, I started hanging with him, and we start sort of representing them over here in Southgate, and it was like on some wannabe shit. And Send Dog called me out. He goes, "Hey man, what the fuck you doing? That shit is over there.
Yeah,
you really want to represent? You go over there.
We're expanding.
You know what I mean?
The hood.
Yeah, you go over there and represent. Don't be fucking over here with that shit." And I took that shit serious. Like I said, if you challenge me, I go to it. So and my brother, he banged for the South Side, you know what I mean? And he used to talk shit to me for that, you know what I mean? But it was a challenge to me, so I fucking went and I was hanging with Willie, and then I became, close with the few of my homies down there that were our tight circle, because within a set, you might have a fuckload of numbers, but you have your own set within
your
that
own little
set.
circle,
Yeah, so I became close with a circle of homies within my set, and we all had each other's backs and shit like that, and I was just there soldiering, for a while at a very young age, up until I was probably 19, 20. When we start working on the demos, I start letting it go. Yeah. And choosing the music, and I had to tell my close circle of homies, hey, this is what it is. And as long as they accepted me, I really didn't, trip off of what anybody else said.
Yeah, facts.
And so that's how that happened. Because normally, in our area and the way I grew up, and my brother, banging, I could have went that direction easily.
Yeah.
I might have even,
especially because it's family.
Yeah, I probably would have followed his track. But because we were separated, for a while, I fell in with my own homies, and they happened to be from
that's all it is. It's not like you went out and said, let me see which one I want to be from.
Yeah, there's a recruiter's office. Okay, here goes the fucking Crip recruitment. Here goes blood.
It's California, bro. It's just where your section's at. That's what you tend,
And what I found was
the same question was saying the N-word, the homies grow up in certain sections where it's like, that's what it is.
Oh, bro, I tripped out, because I seen a lot of other Latino homies banging in different hoods for either Bloods or Crips. I seen that shit. You know what I mean? It's where you grow up. If you grow up there, you grow up there.
Yeah, you grow up in that.
You might be the only one like that, but it does exist. Just like there's black homies that grow up in an all Mexican neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
they become Southsiders.
Or even break it down in the streets. Like if you're born in let's just say you're born in I don't know, like Compton, and then you're on a certain street. You're the only Mexican on there, and it's a blood gang. That's what you're gonna encircle yourself.
Yeah,
there's nothing you could do about it. You didn't ask to be raised in that house, and
wherever your parents move you, dog.
That's what it is, homie.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up.
And that sort of happens, or sometimes they say drugs are the gateway. It's really your homies are the gateway.
Yeah.
To anything, right? My gateway to it. Sorry, Send Dog, was you, dog. You challenged me, bro. Yeah, but I mean, that's just the way I am. I always tried to live up to a challenge. If somebody told me that I couldn't do something, fuck, I'm gonna try to prove that wrong. You know what I'm saying? Even if I fail, you know what I mean. At least I put in the work to try. You know what I mean? And fortunately, God blessed me with the love of music that took me out of that shit because, you know, I seen what was going on, you know what I mean? I seen plenty of my homies that were my age getting locked up or smoked. Went to plenty of funerals, you know what I mean? Seen plenty of my homies go away. I was fucking lucky that I had, you know, 3 homies to come and say, hey, before any of this shit happens, because you've been lucky to this point, come do this music with us. And now, you know, I was reluctant. They had to come like 2-3 times. And my mother, who was a hustler, you know, she was flipping keys up in the South Bay. You know, she was going to pay these motherfuckers to come abduct me from the block. And, you know, and I had to tell him, hey, don't do that shit because I don't know how these guys are going to react to y'all coming and trying to abduct me, man. Don't do, but that's how serious it was. They were trying to peel me out of there so that I could go do something else. And fortunately, the love of music got me at the right time to like peel up out of that.
Shout out to those homies, bro.
Yeah.
For real.
I got a question. It's pretty controversial. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. I recently saw you did a record and a podcast over with Mr. Criminal.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're up to date or you saw like the news that came out recently about him.
Shit, I haven't.
Okay, recently came out that, you know, he turned out to be a snitch.
Oh.
So you're in the industry, right? You're in the real industry, not the Chicano rap industry. You're in the hip hop industry. How does it feel? Does that make you not want to work with people? Do you still fuck with that guy? I mean,
you know, it's always like, you know, when you come from the streets and you led that shit, you know, it is disappointing to hear that. You know what I mean? I try to, it's a fine line with that shit. You know what I mean? Because I'm no longer active, but I come from that.
yeah.
So it's like one of those things where like you're born and raised to like fucking ride this line.
Yeah.
Even some of us carry these principles into a normal life.
Yeah.
Like we don't do this, we don't do that.
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah, do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
And those are just the things that, you know, I still sort of embrace and live by. You know, yeah, I'm not out there on the streets living the gangster lifestyle anymore, you know, for sure. But I still feel some of those things because that's some of our makeup.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it's a little disappointing, you know. Can we take it back? No, it is what it is.
So would you interview him a second time? Or do you have to see some type of proof? I don't know how your rules are from where you come from.
Well, you know, a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know, people will break the paperwork out to show you some shit. Obviously, you know what I mean. If it exists,
does that mean
it does?
Yeah.
Does that mean something to you? Like, or you're at a point where you're not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think about it as much as I used to. I try not to judge that shit because it's like, you know, if you're active, then that's definitely a fucking no-no, right? If you're not active,
you shouldn't care.
You shouldn't really care so much, right? But it's a fine line. You never know who's still active and who's not.
Yep.
And that's the part, right? But you know, you wish homies could do better on that end. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna live this shit, then
like we said earlier,
embrace what it is. And like when you take your knock, you take your fucking knock.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know,
especially living that life. If that's the life you want to live,
if that's the life,
you gotta roll with it.
If you're just portraying it and it's not really you, I can't expect you to live by that code, right?
Yeah.
Like that, like people that are acting, about it. But if you're active, you know, you expect someone to be accountable.
Yeah, for sure. We got a 999 super chat. SB Real, who are top 5 West Coast rappers. We did already. West
Coast rappers.
Yeah, West Coast.
Well, you know, that would be probably fuck. That's hard because there's so many dope ones. Because there's the back in the day top ones, and then there's the fucking now, right? So back in the day, and could even bleed into now. You know, for me, it's, you know, Ice Cube. He's always been dope to me. King T, who doesn't get enough fucking flowers.
King T is hard too.
MC8. Corrupt.
Fire.
And Razkaz. He's fucking dope.
There's so many artists, huh?
So like from back in the day, right? But if you're talking about now, definitely still Cube. Kendrick Lamar's one of the motherfuckers who is just dope, like out of here. He's getting his flowers from a younger generation, but I feel like us as like, you know, people that were connoisseurs of the fucking 90s bars, right? Because that was like a lot of bar work was happening there. We look at Kendrick like he's fucking dope. You know, he represents well. Who else of now? Well, Snoop still represents. He, you know, they're
still now.
he can get down right now.
He don't count though.
But I don't know if he counts. Yeah, you're right about that.
He's probably back in the old. You missed him on the old list.
He's on the Hall of Fame, fool. So he's on everybody's
you don't even have to put him on the list. He's just there.
He's
you know what I'm saying?
right?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the NBA young boys, the like who else?
But they're not. They're from out of state. You're just talking
He said
Cali.
Cali.
Oh, Cali. Oh, he's in
Talking about
Cali.
Cali, yeah.
Oh,
King Little G's also a dope motherfucker, man.
we don't
Yeah,
got too
he's
many in Cali. We got YG.
Yeah.
You got who else?
Game.
King Lil G.
You got Game.
Yeah.
King Lil G.
And there's not too many Cali rappers.
You
huh?
said Kendrick.
Kendrick, yeah.
There's a couple guys up in the Bay too that are dope.
Schoolboy Q.
Simba.
Yes.
Simba.
Hey, Schoolboy Q is dope
Schoolboy
as
Q.
fuck.
Dope.
Yeah, he'd be on my right now list because he is fucking dope. I gotta say that.
Where does E40 stand on your list?
He's dope too.
Yeah,
He's a connoisseur, dog.
Yeah, he's a connoisseur.
Whole new style.
I mean, a lot of us don't have slang words out here of
like
our
he
own
does?
on the
Yeah.
West Coast. If it wasn't for this guy, you know, what I'm
40,
saying?
yeah.
Salute to E40.
So many on the West
short.
Coast. Too short. I
Yeah.
mean, damn, the list could go on. Who else is out there? Exhibit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Too many.
There's a lot of youngsters on the rise right now, like in Latino rap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you keeping your ear out to any of these Latino rappers?
Pretty much, you know, anything that's coming on the radar. OT's dope.
OT's fire.
Yeah, he's fucking dope.
Yeah, he's a Texas guy. Huh?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, for sure. But yeah, shout out to Brother Lex. I seen that he dropped the 20 memberships in the chat.
Nice.
Salute Brother Lex in the building.
Brother
he don't,
Lex
he
always
don't
showing
miss.
love.
Yeah, he don't miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you got any more questions?
Well, we
I'm
missed a
fa-
bunch of super chats.
I'm
trying
faded
to-
as fuck, dog.
I'm
I can't
fucking
even think right now.
I'm over
Yeah,
here
I'm
like
stuttering
over,
like a
I thought
motherfucker.
my machine stopped in my chest. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
He said it got me on a good one.
So I'm like, what am I saying?
What got you into?
Hey, well, hey, I apologize, man. I'm usually up with the super chats, but I'm super fucking high right now, dog. Be Real got me though. The only one that really got me. I mean, got me. The other one, we had a guest that lit it up, but it was cool.
It was little
I was
weirdo
still
from San
straight.
Diego, yeah.
Yeah, it got lit up, but this is like, homie.
What got you into doing podcasts?
Shit. I used to do radio on the beat for some years back in the late 90s and shit. I think from 97 to about 99 or something like that. And, you know, realized we had a platform. So, you know, I wasn't going to go back to the radio because there was too much politics and they couldn't really pay me what I was worth there.
Yeah.
But Maceo from De La Soul was doing some live streaming on this site called Ustream.
Okay.
And I went and checked it out. I was like, oh shit, you know, you could sort of do like a radio show on this bullshit right here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not that Ustream was bullshit. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
but yeah. We can make it happen.
Yeah,
right
we
here.
could make it happen right here. And as I was like trying to like figure some things out with maybe streaming on Ustream, my homie Kenji, who I do Be Real TV with in the Dr. Green Thumb cannabis line with, he was talking with these guys from a site called Stickam, which was a bigger streaming site. And they were like, we'll make you the platform. And we're like, okay, shit. You know, and we started the platform on Stickam. And instead of doing what most celebrities were doing at that time, where they would come and, you know, pop in once a month or once every few months, I was like, fuck that. I'm going to run this shit like a radio show. I'm going to do this shit, you know, like weekly, like get this thing or, you know, or weekday, like 5 days a week, like run it like a radio station, right? And that was in 2009. And we started as the 420 show. And then when Stickam went down, because they built us our platform, we were able to continue to stream after that. and some of the people from there came to our site, then followed us onto YouTube and shit like that. So we've been streaming since 2009, doing before it was called podcasting. We were doing it, and you know, now it's all podcasts and shit.
So everybody's with it now, right?
Yeah.
It's like rap. Everybody's rapping now. Same thing. Everybody's podcasting.
It's all good. There's room for all of us because
yeah,
it's
for sure
variety.
it is.
You know what I mean? People want to hear different shit. Everybody's got a different style.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me read this last super chat. We're going to be done with this podcast. We know the legend got places to be and people to meet, you know, so I will say, you know, Brooks, 999 super chat says, shout out to Be Real, a real one in the rap game as well as the cannabis industry. Any new strains in the works other than lithium?
New strains? Yeah. We don't have any really names for them yet because usually we try to get some of the new genetics in and name it after based off of the vibe it gives us. You know, it's kind of like coming up with song titles for your records.
For your albums, yeah.
You might have the idea ahead of hand, but you might get the title later. It all happens like that. Sometimes we just might have working titles that, like, you know, this is the name of the shit for now. But
you just label it real quick and then go back to it.
Yeah, but then when we go to finalize it, we might put something different there. So it's the same thing with the cannabis shit. Like, we start off with whatever the crosses were that make up the new strain, and then we'll
play off that.
We'll taste it first. Like, we'll smoke it, smell it, look at it, smoke it, all that shit, and then name it after.
You got a strand named Lithium?
Yeah.
Dog, that's the shit that's in the machine.
Yeah.
It's a lithium battery,
This shit
right?
will power you up. This shit will power you up.
I'm over here like, lithium, dog. That's the shit you use for the batteries, huh?
Yeah.
That's growing under the Salton Sea if you own property over there.
Yeah,
That's
that
right.
Fucking guy, Elon Musk,
Elon
is
Musk,
buying property
yeah.
all right there.
He's getting all that shit.
People better go buy whatever's available before he pulls up.
Oh, yeah. Because he going to buy
Gonna
it
take
all.
everything.
Hey, we're good, Playboy.
Hey, with that being said, any last remarks for the legend here?
Man, appreciate you coming. Be real, man.
Oh,
It was
thanks
good
for having
interviewing, man. A legend, all your accolades, man. Salute to your success, man, and holding it down still.
Hey, thank you for having me, man.
30 plus years in the game.
Yeah. And we still going to keep going, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Could we say that he's the biggest star we've had sit on this blue couch right there to date?
I'm gonna say yeah, dog.
All
So
right.
am I.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Shit,
am I.
stamp that
Not
shit
just
right.
like that. I consider you, dog, like Snoop and a lot of the moguls that didn't just end
Paved
in
the way.
rap.
That paved the way.
You got successful podcasts, businesses, weed strands. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
Like, that's how Snoop is. Same thing.
It's all love, man.
Yeah.
You know, we try to stay with the people. You know, we even do like these bike rides as of late, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I seen that.
Where, you know, we do these weekly rides and shit with our crew, and then there's other rides where we invite fucking people. We just did one with this company called Technique, who made one of my bikes that I use now, and it was like 200-300 people, you know, and we're riding with these. There ain't no security. We're like out there just, you know,
Chilling, vibing.
Riding with fans, vibing and shit. And that's been, you know, who we are since day one. You know, like when we were doing the early touring and all that shit, we were out there with the people with no bodyguards, you know, shit that other groups weren't doing. You know, like after our show, we'd be out there, you know, just vibing with people. And this has been who we've been since day one. So it's about interacting with fans
With the people.
and being available and not putting up the fucking walls and embracing motherfuckers and again, showing light and love to others as it was given to us.
Yes, sir.
So salute to everybody out there, man. Even the motherfuckers that might have talked shit in the chat room. I don't take nothing personal, baby.
Yeah. Nah, they was.
Droops,
Oh, I
Droops.
know it.
Any last words, Droops?
Man, just appreciate you coming through, man. I grew up on all your music, for real. You know what I mean? So just having you here is much appreciated,
It's
bro.
all love, brother. Hell yeah.
All right. With that being said, salute. Once again, thank you. We appreciate you for coming to the 200 Boys podcast. Everybody go follow the legend on Instagram. Go run up his numbers. Go run up his views. And with that being said, salute, and we out.
Salute.
You gotta be grateful. You need haters. What is you complaining about? What do you think a hater's job is? To hate. So let them do their goddamn job. What the is you complaining about?
M16 kill the track with the mix.
Yeah, they can hate on me. Got a reason why I always keep the flame on me. And I'ma do it till I'm done, ain't no breaks on me. Break me down, hell no, that's what you ain't gon' see. Blue devil on my shoulder, he just spitting the facts. So be careful how you moving, ain't no running it back. Southside, the world where the real ones at. Them 200 boys reppin', logging in from the trap. Better log in, home. Better log in, home. Log in, home. Better log in, log in.
Gotta be grateful. You need haters. What is you complaining about? What do you think a hater's job is? To hate. So let them do their goddamn job. What the is you complaining about?
M16 kill the track with the mix.
Yeah, they can hate on me. Got a reason why I always keep the flame on me. And I'ma do it till I'm done, ain't no breaks on me. Break me down, hell no, that's what you ain't gon' see. Blue devil on my shoulder, he just spitting the facts. So be careful how you moving, ain't no running it back. Southside, the world where the real ones at. Them 200 boys reppin', logging in from the trap. Better log in, home. Better log in, home. Log in, home. Better log in, log in.
Gotta be grateful. You need haters. What is you complaining about? What do you think a hater's job is? To hate. So let them do their goddamn job. What the is you complaining about?
M16 kill the track with the mix.
Yeah, they can hate on me. Got a reason why I always keep the flame on me. And I'ma do it till I'm done, ain't no brakes on me. Break me down, hell no, that's what you ain't gon' see. Blue devil on my shoulder, he just spitting the facts. So be careful how you moving, ain't no running it back. Southside, hate the world where the real ones at. Them 200 boys reppin', logging in from the trap. Better log in, homie.